Right, hello and welcome back to another episode from M2on2. My name is Marcus. We're playing at Darksphere in Shepherd's Bush. I'm playing against Jade from the Kitsune Adventure. We're playing Malifaux, which is M3e 3rd edition, and we're in Gaining Grounds 3. So this is the Guild versus Rezzers, and it's Dashel 2 versus McMourning 2. So the sound failed. So I am going to be doing a commentary match for this one, or the best I can have a commentary match and try and talk through my ideas and what I'm doing, and hopefully that will interest you. If it doesn't, let me know in the comments, and I'll just delete them if the sound fails. So it's a wedge formation setup, and I am doing just an unpack with Dashel for turn 1. So I've got an Executioner, I've got a Mounted Guard, I've got a DCU, Disease Containment Unit, I've got the Guild Steward, I've got Queeg, and we're just trying to get the Executioner into Jade's crew's face as quickly as we can, followed by Dashel to back it up. We're playing Cursed Objects, so that means we're not looking for kills after turn 1, but also I'm wanting to try and put some pressure on Jade as early as possible. Jade has got 2 Contori, she's got the Corpse Curator, which is going to be a pain for the entire game. She's got a Nurse, she's got the Chihuahua, and a Gravedigger to dig up some bodies and start the ball rolling with the corpse mechanics. So we're doing that whole first turn setup and move thing at the moment. So very simple. Jade's just getting herself ready. And I am getting crews out there. So far I will have pushed everyone up with the disease containment unit. I will now have used the steward to give focus to the executioner. I will then change that focus to fast with Queeg. I will then move the steward up and gave focus with a Dispel Magic Galvanize to the Mounted Guardsman. And now we're into a turn where the Mounted Guardsman is going to push up from Queeg from his Superintendent, and then takes the Executioner on a ride and does some shooting, which is ineffectual. I can't actually remember exactly what happens in every moment of this game. I'm just watching it as we're playing, and I'm trying to make sure I'm talking. So the Contoris are running, they've got Sloth. Sloth is has got the ability to give fast to undead models, and so they are all going fast. So I need to try and put a hold on people as quickly as possible. My Executioner gets into the backfield. It's fast, and it goes in and murders a Nurse. A little bit too quick, but hey, at least it's dead. I believe I can then move with the corpse, but I can't. I can move with ski markers, so I have to take that attack back. So, well, I don't take the attack back, I just don't do it. I realise it before we flip cards, thank goodness. Jade is then going to ride with me out of there with the Contori, I believe. Oh, no, she's still holding. I get to go in with 1 strike with Dashel after we work out if I can get over the top of the fence. I can't, so I go around the fence, but I still get 1 charge from 2 rounds of attacks. Jade's like, well, you're killing my crew too fast. And I'm like, yep. But I don't finish off the Contori with this attack run. Unfortunately, I didn't have the cards to kill it in the first turn. So it runs at that point, or it should be doing this. And there's a breakthrough in this pool and spread them out, and I have a bad feeling at this point that I'm about to be down 4 points, because that's breakthrough and spread them out with 2 Contori going off straight away. That's just the Guardsman finishing off turn 1. Right, well that was turn 1. We're about to go into turn 2 of the game, and let's see what happens here. So yeah, I'm in the backfield, or at least with Dashel and the Executioner where I want to be. The rest of my crew is quite exposed and on the flank, but mostly the Contori are in my backfield, and I'm going to be dropping schemes for breakthrough. And I believe she was also got spread them out at this point, so I was like, all right, I'm 4 points down, I need to get some kills. Jade cheats to go first and gets the hell out of there with using McMourning to push the Gravedigger out of there and push the little guy into my crew to try and hold me up for a turn, which works better than I thought it would do, as that thing is about to do, because it does the bomb explosion, I believe it's called. Yeah, it's got explosives, packed with explosives, and so that causes me to gain cause some damage and then to get some poison on me, and that poison is going to ruin most of this turn. Now I've got secret Meetup with that fence and the corpse creator, but I make a mistake and believe I can do it with Dashel rather than the executioner who I've written down. So I'm spending my entire turn not trying to kill that model because I want him alive at the end of the turn, while Jade keeps putting poison on me because she's put up Cursed Sludge, and anyone poisoned cannot attack friendly models while they have got poison on them. Jade's also making my crew slow with Sloth, which is just rude, and she's holding back my crew, so stopping me from being able to control. She's went for the kill on the executioner, but because because this Dashel allows you to use soul stones and gain shielded when you use them, it's not going to be effective, but it's also going to hold me back. So I'm having to get the steward up the board to try and get rid of some what they called conditions. So that's my next step, and I'm trying to get the rest of the crew up there to back up Dashel and the executioner, because they're a little bit alone on their own up there. They're a little bit exposed, but as they're running, I'm a little bit safer. So I have to bring the mounted guardsman back, horseman, mounted guardsman back, and then ride with me the steward up the board to try and start getting Dispel Magic out, so I can actually do something at the end of the turn and attack. And we're just getting up the pitch and trying to get in there. I realised that at this point, or somewhere near this point, that the Chihuahua, if I use the steward, the Chihuahua can just come back in and poison me again, and then I won't be able to use my models to actually attack things. So I have to go and hold the Chihuahua up, or try and kill it. But the only way I've got to do that is with a little guardsman. So that's not going to be very effective this turn. And the only thing we forget this turn is the fact that the Sloth has that if you heal, you gain a sin token. So if you then heal again, you can take the sin token away to stop the next healing. So we realise that at the start of turn 3. So that'll be updated, and so that's why I'm not getting as much healing in this crew as I'd like. Although the steward's the only one who's really healing most of them. I'm just preventing. So yeah, most of this is what's going on is Jade's trying to hold me up with the Cursed Sludge on the corpse creator, and I'm accepting the fact that I'm going to have a very weird turn, and that I'm then going to try and get this corpse creator moved towards the fence, so that I can then try and score. Although I've realised that at the end of it I couldn't score that point because that wasn't the executioner who was near the fence. I should have gone and charged the Contori with the executioner, and then I would have been in the right place for the fence. But that's not what happened, so that's fine. So this is little doggy coming in and making me poisoned again, which was rubbish. I think I try and walk away with a staggered executioner, and that fails to try and get out of engagement with the 2-inch, and that doesn't work. So, and then I think at the end of the turn, Dashel does the pushy thing. Yeah, here it comes. So Dashel is doing his pushy thing now. I put in a mask. I put in a mask. I spend masks. I realise I've spent a stone, and I had the big enough mask in my hand to do it anyway. And this is when I trying to go, oh yeah, and then Dashel walks there and I score. And that was a mistake. But so at the moment it's actually 1-0. It's about to be 1-0 to Jade, because Jade's got ski markers at the back of the board with the Contori, and I've got nothing. Okay, so going to turn 3. I think I've scored for the corpse creator, so now I can kill it. Thank goodness. But from memory, Jade goes first and does Cursed Sludge again. So I'm then having to play around this goddamn what's it called? Corpse creator again, who puts out a sludge marker. So this puts it's a drop, so it means that you can put Dashel straight into it, and that's annoying. So then I'm having to play around to try and get him and the rest of his crew out of this position again. The Guntori are staying at the back, dropping more markers, and at this point I'm like, oh no, I've lost the game. But she did not have spread them out as well. She had catch and release. So that was lucky for me. So this turn is just spent with me trying to kill the corpse curator and finding a way to get there. Eventually I do by getting the whip of Queeg into the fight with the mounted guardsman. Jade's like, oh no, you've got breakthrough as well, and I didn't, so unfortunately I wasn't scoring from that. I had in your face, and I had the secret meetup, so that was where I was going to be scoring points, but the Centauri ran to the back of the board, so I wasn't scoring those points, and so I could score the last point as long as the executioner stayed alive, and I spent all my stones across the game keeping him alive, thank goodness. That extra shielded each time. Against this McMourning is really useful. Against the other McMourning would have been useless. And I'm getting more back because I realise there's corpses on the board and I can pick those up for because I've got Pursue. It's not Pursue, it's Loot Their Corpse. So eventually the corpse creator dies. It takes a little while for that to happen, but it will. We get there eventually. Everything else is just getting away from my crew because they've got cursed objects on them, and so rather than lose points for me, they're just going to stay as far away from the board as possible. Although Jay realises she brought McMourning in, who has a cursed object on them, and it means that they can be killed. What I should have done with early on was the execution should have, rather than the second attack on the nurse, I should have then passed my cursed object on to the nurse, and therefore I could have then killed the nurse on the start of the second turn for that point. But I never remembered that you can actually remove the cursed objects as well. We're at the point where we're about almost at the point where we're going into the start of turn 4, where we just talk it through from there. Oh, 1 second. Most of the point we're about to talk through turn 4, where it's quite clear that Jade has got the breakthrough points, which is 2, but I do have 3 points, 1 for the death of the corpse creator, 1 for the 2 screen markers I can drop next to the fence, and 1 for the executioner still being alive. And Jade accepts that with 3 stones left at that point, it's not going to be possible for her to stop it. Flip of the red joker at the start really means that the turn just about ends at that point, which is something. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, listening. Hope you enjoyed the readback for my ideas of what happened during this game. I hope you enjoyed listening to it. Come and see us at UK Nationals. 7 games over 2 days at Newark Racecourse. Well worth a listen, well worth an attend. Really good fun and bounce. We are not sponsored by anyone, but we are at Darksphere, great place to buy models. We generally use Rampage tokens by Rampage Games, great place to buy tokens. I hope you enjoyed the game, and I hope to see you on another one in the future. Goodbye.